So today we're going to talk about the very broad and complex topic of reactions. Chemical reactions are basically the reason we're all alive and have necessary chemicals at our disposal, such as sugar, which is C12H22O11, salt, which is NaCl, and graphite and diamonds, which is just pure carbon. One way such elements are formed is through synthesis reactions. This type of reaction is a very simple way of adding two pure elements together to create a compound. The charges of these elements crisscross to form the subscripts of the new compound. Another way these chemicals are made is through decomposition reactions. This type of reaction doesn't necessarily make new compounds, but it decomposes them into their simpler substances. A combustion reaction is one that has reactants of solely a hydrocarbon and heat, with the products always being carbon dioxide and water. The hydrocarbon can be any type of fuel, 3 examples being propane, which is C3H8, methane, which is C4H, and ethane, which is C2H6. Balancing is the process of making the number of elements on one side equal to the number on the other side.
Balancing is a necessity with combustion reactions, just as it is with the previous and remaining types of reactions. Balancing allows for chemists and scientists to be able to calculate different values of reactions, such as the amounts of reactant and product and their molarity and molality.
In combustion reactions, this is the order in which you would balance the equation. C meaning carbon, which you would balance first, H meaning hydrogen, which you would balance second, and O meaning oxygen, which you would balance third. Single replacement reactions is another way chemicals are formed. These types of reactions have one reactant as a pure element and another as an aqueous compound. The pure element and one part of the aqueous compound switch places, forming a different pure element and a new aqueous compound. Another way chemicals are made is through double replacement reactions. This type of reaction starts with 2 ionic compounds, ionic meaning one anion and one cation. And parts of each compound are exchanged in order to produce 2 new compounds. So you can think of it like both of the cations or both of the anions are switched in order to produce 2 new compounds. All these types of reactions have chemical changes to the elements and compounds included in them. A chemical change is a usually irreversible chemical reaction that involves the atoms of the reaction rearranging themselves to change their chemical properties. Some examples of chemical changes would be combustion, rusting of iron, metabolism processes, baking and cooking, rotting food, and chemical batteries. Some reactions only do physical changes. A physical change is a type of change in which the form is altered, but the substance isn't transferred into another substance, which would be a chemical change. Some physical changes would be crushing something out of shape, mixing an aqueous element with H2O, breaking it, dissolving it, or changing the state of matter,